two, one, camera two.
The women's ice hockey team played their last 3 games of the season. How did they do?
The women's basketball team traveled to Fairfield to take on the first-place team in the MAC. How did they perform?
All this and more as Sports Paws starts right now.
Welcome to another episode of Sports Paws. I'm Ryan Raggio, and this is Gage Kilborn. Now, Gage, how have you been?
I've been doing great. Been watching a lot of women's ice hockey, and that's where we're going to start our show off tonight, isn't that right?
Sounds good.
All right, we'll begin as the women's ice hockey team made the trek to Troy, New York to play the RPI Engineers. Will they keep their winning streak alive? Let's find out. The Bobcats will pull away victorious with a 4-0 shutout of RPI. Nina Steigoff was the main contributor in Quinnipiac's rout as she scored 2 goals in the game. Corinne Schroeder picked up her 3rd shutout of the season. 2 of her 3 shutouts were to RPI. Quinnipiac not only outscored RPI 4-0, they also outshot them 27-18. However, RPI won the face-off battle, winning 31 puck drops at the red dot and only losing 19. Following the Bobcats' resounding win over RPI, they went back to Hamden to play against their in-state rivals once again, the Yale Bulldogs. Let's roll the clip. And like I said before, it's always a rivalry between dogs and cats, and no one's bigger than Yale and Quinnipiac. And we know it's a big game. We got the Teletubbies in the stands, ready to go, and we got it all fired up and ready to go as the women's ice hockey team ready to go against the 6th-ranked team in the country. We begin in the first period, and Renee Saltness will get things started. As not the first shot will not go in, but the second one will find its way over Maloney to make it an early 1-0 lead for the Bobcats. Heading into this later on in the first period, Bargman takes a pass from Harchie, and she does not miss on that opportunity. We are tied at 1 here in Hamden. But late in the first period, you may not see Kendall Cooper, but you will see the puck hit the back of the net right there. And just like that, Quinnipiac takes a 2-1 lead going into the second period. Second period, here we go. Will the Bobcats lay off the gas pedal? No, they won't. Nina Steigoff jukes around Greta Skarzinski, finds Jess Shriver open to extend the lead. 3-1 Bobcats going to the third and final period. And the big reason why Yale's forecheck was held scoreless was because of Corinne Schroeder. With plays like that and a strong defense, the Bobcats will hold on to win this one 4-1, and they clinch a home playoff spot in the quarterfinals.
It was senior day for the women's ice hockey team on Saturday. Here's Ben Yergin with the scoop.
As the Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team celebrated their senior night this Saturday afternoon against Brown, many would step through this door beginning their freshman year in their collegiate careers. They only had one thing in mind: to improve this Bobcat hockey program.
I think from my freshman year, we all came in and into a building program that we want to take to that next level. And I think the girls above us and our class have done a great job of doing that. This is the first year since I've been here that we've been in top 10 every single week. And the first time since I've been here that we have home ice in playoffs. So it's a great feeling just to know that we played a big part in shaping this program and developing this program.
From being in the Bobcat hockey program for 4 years, the women on the team have improved both as hockey players and as people.
So she's really developed as a person and her ability to deal with things that don't go her way and how to still be there to support her team and focus on her school. And tremendous development here and just wonderful staff in the program supporting her.
Not only are the graduating Bobcats coming out for their final regular season game of their careers, many of their parents are seeing their daughters play for the final time. One thing the parents will miss most is the camaraderie they've developed with other parents.
You know, it's really nice when the weather's a little bit nicer and, we go out and you have the parents come together and do a little bit of tailgating, which is really nice. And then, go to some of the local establishments before the games, which is great. It's really been a great all-encompassing experience for us.
No matter whether they're on the bench or on the ice, the names of Agia, House, Boyd, Connickson, and all the others of the graduating class will not be forgotten for the mark they left on the Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team. For Q30 Sports, I'm Ben Yergin.
The women's ice hockey team looked to extend their winning streak to 5 games as they hosted Brown University this weekend. Let's see how they did. It's senior week in Hamden. The Bobcats welcoming the Brown Bears to the People's United Center in their final game of the regular season. While today was a day of celebration for the graduating class, there's still a game to be played. So let's get into the action. We're taking you to the first period as Alexa Hoskin. She gets the puck and she swings it across the goal to Sadie Peart. Keeper does a split to save it, still scoreless. Now here we are, Brown. Stockfish finds herself in open water as she tries to thread the needle against Angers here, makes the save. Second period, here we come. Brown's offense was relentless. Another shot here, a shot there, and it's loose and open, and a goal for Brown. Maggie Hiofiko tucks it home, back post, 1-0 Brown. Bobcats are loose. Sadie Peart with a quick shot that's saved, and they're not able to convert. Brown looking to extend their lead, but Angers makes another save. Have a day. They're coming into the final period of the game. Mobley with a pass across the crease, but not able to bring it home. Brown's still up. And another chance for the Bobcats, but another save by the Brown goaltender. And that's all she wrote. Bobcats lose the final game of the season by a score of 1-0.
One of the seniors of the women's ice hockey team also received an award on Saturday for ECAC Student Athlete of the Year. Bobcats' senior forward Lexi Agia earned the Mandy Schwartz Student Athlete of the Year award for her success both on the ice and in the classroom. Agia is now the 4th Bobcat to win the award, joining Kenzie Lancaster, Kristen Tamberg, and Chelsea Landon. As the regular season comes to a close, let's take a look at the ECAC playoffs bracket. Starting in the 1 versus 8 matchup, it is the top-seeded Harvard Crimson hosting the Princeton Tigers in the best-of-3 series. In the regular season, Harvard defeated Princeton in both games played and actually shut them out in both games. In the second series, Quinnipiac is the 4th seed and they will host Clarkson in the regular season. Both teams won a game in the regular season. In the third series, it is the Yale Bulldogs hosting the 7th seed St. Lawrence Saints. Yale leads the regular season series 1-0-1. The final quarterfinal series is between the 3rd seeded and defending ECAC champion Colgate Raiders and the 6th seeded Cornell Big Red in Hamilton, New York. The regular season series between these two teams is tied 1-1. Switching locker rooms, the men's ice hockey team took the trip to Hanover, New Hampshire to face the Dartmouth Big Green. Let's see how they fared. The Bobcats will come away with a W, winning this one 5-0 to further extend their NCAA Division I record for most shutouts in a season by a school. Dylan St. Cyr was in the crease for Quinnipiac as he recorded 12 saves in the victory. Zach Metza, Oliver Chow, and Skylar Brindamore all recorded 2 points each in the victory. And the Bobcats also outshot the Big Green 29-12.
The men's ice hockey team took a trip to Cambridge over the weekend to face Harvard. Let's see what went down. Just like the women's team, the Bobcats were shut out in 1-0 loss. Quinnipiac again outshooting their opponents. This time it was 39-27. Both goaltenders played spectacular, however. The Bobcat offense was held in check. They also had 2 power play opportunities but couldn't capitalize. Crimson goalie Mitchell Gibson made 39 saves and Bobcat goalie Yaniv Peretz had 26 saves on 27 shots. After this week's games, let's take a look at the USCHO men's ice hockey standings. Quinnipiac dropped to 5th in the standings after their loss to Harvard over the weekend. Minnesota moved up to 4th over Quinnipiac, and rounding out the top 3 in the standings is Minnesota State, followed by Michigan and Denver at the number 3 spot. With that, it's time to talk more about the Battle of Whitney Avenue.
It's been a good run for us. We get fired up and we play well. That's a game of hockey, so every game's different. That's a really good Yale team. Really, our team defense is off it. We want the puck.
The right word, but kind of very aggressive as Young winds up and Peretz makes the save.
That's an impressive save from Peretz, too, because that was a knuckle puck shot from Young.
The Rafferty, the one-timer, score! Logan Rafferty rifling it from the blue line. Traffic in front, and the Bobcats take the lead.
Barrett left face-off on and crossed himself up and needing some assistance. Weber couldn't clear and falling down. A shot from Barrett, still loose in front. Up champ to the backhand and score! 3-0 Cats. They pounce again. Quinnipiac remains number one. A 4-1 win and a skirmish at the conclusion.
You know, we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing all year long, is just stay focused. It's a great group of guys, great character in that locker room. They have fun coming to the rink every day, and they're hungry, and, you know, we're not going to change anything right now.
With that, it's time to talk more about the Battle of Whitney Avenue that's happening tomorrow. We have Clever Streich in the studio. So Clever, what are your predictions for this matchup?
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Gage. This is a massive rivalry game. This is the Battle of Whitney Avenue, the Hero's Hat game, whatever you want to call it. 8 miles separating Quinnipiac and Yale. They will clash tomorrow night at the People's United Center for the first time in 718 days. All eyes will be on this game. This is one of the biggest games on campus this year, and 37 meetings dating back to 2006. Let's take a little bit of a trip down memory lane. Quinnipiac leads the all-time record 25-7-5, and in 2013, Yale, of course, taking the national championship game over Quinnipiac. So this is a big game, and something that I would predict for tonight is that Quinnipiac's going to try and rebound, especially after a loss to Harvard, who was unranked, now at number 20 in the polls. So expect a really excited arena, expect a really amazing game as Quinnipiac is going to try and get back into the winning ways of things after dropping 2 out of the last 3 games.
With that being said, Clever, what are some key things that we should be on the lookout for players, plays, defense, and offense?
We should be looking out for the Quinnipiac Bobcats goaltending core. Whether it's Yanni Peretz or Dylan St. Cyr in net, they have collectively set a record for NCAA shutouts in a single season. That's incredibly impressive. This might be the deepest goaltender room in the entire history of the Quinnipiac Bobcats men's ice hockey team. The goaltending has been the greatest asset for the Bobcats. Peretz, a 3-time ECAC goaltender of the month. St. Cyr has not lost a game since October. On the Yale side of the puck, Nicholas Elaine and Briggs Gamble lead the entire offense as the 4th and 2nd ranked teams right now in terms of points. Nicholas Elaine, of course, the son of head coach of the Yale Bulldogs, Keith Elaine, so he will be making a big impact in this game as a youth movement kind of has been taking over in New Haven for the Yale Bulldogs. So the question will remain, can the Bulldogs travel well, take back a victory over the Bobcats as they've been struggling as of late, and can they upset the Bobcats for the first time since 2018?
Thank you, Clever, for your wise wisdom as always. We'll take a quick break, but when we come back, it'll be right to the hardwood where we talk all things men's and women's basketball. Stay tuned.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Drew, spot me on this last one. There it is.
Keep going with it. Leo. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why? My. Oh.
Thank you for sticking with us on Sports Paws. You know, Ryan, I think we talked enough about hockey. Let's walk over to the Frank Pride Jr. Arena to London Court. Let's go see what they have. We will begin on the women's bench as Trisha Fabry's squad made the trip north to take on the first place Fairfield Stags. Let's see how they did. The Stags are able to complete their regular season sweep of the Bobcats, winning 59-54 in overtime. Michaela Morris, however, once again recorded a double-double, making it her 5th straight game recording a double-double. Fairfield's Callie Cavanaugh was the team's leading scorer, and she also scored a double-double with 17 points and 10 rebounds for the Stags. However, Quinnipiac came up with a higher shooting percentage on the field than Fairfield.
After their road trip, the women's basketball team returned home to face off against the Niagara Purple Eagles at the People's United Center last Saturday. Could they recover from their loss a game prior? Let's take a look. QU versus Niagara, two teams at the top of the MAC matchup in Hamden. Quinnipiac trying to bounce back, and Niagara started off hot as Angel Parker with the mid-range bucket, followed by a floater over Mackenzie Helms, and then another layup over Tiara White right here. What a move. Parker had 13 points in the first quarter. On to the second quarter now. Niagara staying hot as the Bobcats are on the break, but again, Angel Parker coming away with the steal. She's backcourt going coast to coast, and if you think she's going in for a layup, you're wrong. She's going to pull up from the three-point line, splash. Parker would finish with a career-high 30 points in the day. With a few minutes in the first half, Michaela Morris puts a 3 to cut the lead to 33-27 Niagara. The second half, Gage, it was the Mackenzie DeWeese show. DeWeese goes to the basket, the one, count it. Nice backdoor cut. And another one on a Rose Cavalli assist. DeWeese finishes again. She had 24 points on the night. Look at this, nice pass by Cavalli. And now in the fourth quarter, as the Bobcats with the ball passing out to Michaela Morris with the dagger. Count it, that's a 3. But Morris would tally her 6th consecutive double-double, and the Bobcats would cruise to the second half win 76-57. With that Niagara win, Michaela Morris received MAC Player of the Week, but she was not the only star that came out of that matchup. Mackenzie DeWeese obtained a career high of 22 points. Listen to what Coach Trisha Fabry and the career setter herself had to say about it.
She responded today, and that's what great players do, right? And she rang the bell and did it on both ends, and just was really smooth with the ball. So, you know, cream rises. That's MAC. You see us just going. It was just great to see. Good for her, better for us.
Yeah, I think it really changed in the start of the game, to be honest. Like Fairfield, it felt like there was a lid on the bucket. And I had a friend of mine back home tell me, just keep shooting. And I think if I look back my freshman year, I wouldn't have done that. But, you know, my teammates trust me, and they trust every shot I shoot. So with their confidence behind me, I felt relentless tonight.
Now that we're all caught up with last week's action, let's see where Quinnipiac stands in the MAC Conference. As you see, Fairfield is pretty much running away with the #1 seed on the conference with the loss. With one loss in the season, Quinnipiac drops to the 3rd best team in the MAC with an 11-5 record. Meanwhile, the defending MAC champions, Marist Red Foxes, are currently sitting in 10th in the conference. Fairfield is the only team in the MAC to clinch an automatic bye into the MAC quarterfinals. As of right now, it looks like Fairfield could be representing the MAC in the Women's March Madness tournament this year. Passing the ball to the opposite side of the court, the men's basketball team traveled to Poughkeepsie, New York to play Marist. Let's see how they did. And we will go, and it is Marist and Quinnipiac here at Poughkeepsie, New York, but we'll go right to the second half. We are knotted up at 36 apiece. But the Bobcats would open up the scoring as Brendan McGuire finds an open Matt Belanca in the corner for the 3-ball. But that will not last for long, as on the other side of the court, the Red Foxes jump quickly as their own J.O. Otuka sets up Braden Bell at the top of the key. We are knotted up at 38 apiece. But seconds later, the Bobcats connect from deep once again as Brendan McGuire hits the long ball from the corner. But here we go again, a back and forth battle. It is no other than Noah Harris. He finds a way to go bid for a deep T3 right there and to tie this game up at once again. But you can't go wrong with a Mapalonk dunk right here. And this one's going to try making SportsCenter top 10 once again. Boom! Look at that. It's like Air Jordan out there. But Marist would not let Quinnipiac have the last laugh in this one as they will extend their lead to 3, 60-57. And Jones also made his name known on the defensive end as he denies Taimu Chenry. And because of that, Marist will go on to win by 1 point, 67-66.
Let's take a look at where the men's basketball team ranks in the MAC standings. As you can see, Quinnipiac sits at 6th in the MAC standings, and rounding out the top of the leaderboards is Iona at number 1, followed by Siena in 2nd, St. Peter's in 3rd, and Monmouth in 4th. The women's track and field team went to New York over the weekend for the MAC championship. Let's take a look at the results. The Bobcats took home 2nd place. They tied Rider University with 145 points, while Monmouth University would end up winning it all with 195 points. Senior Aisha Gay was awarded the MAC Indoor Championship's Most Outstanding Track Performer of the meet. Women's indoor track and field star Aisha Gay earned her 3rd MAC Performer of the Week award over the weekend. After achieving a career best time of 24.37 seconds in the 200 meter, Gay is now ranked 1st in the MAC for this event. Following the meet, she is now ranked 3rd on the top 10 program list at Quinnipiac.
And we'll take one more quick break, and we'll be right back. Tune in as we got all things men's and women's lacrosse.
Stick around.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Thanks for sticking around. The women's ice hockey game was against Yale this weekend. Had a special guest in the stands, a group we've all come to love at Quinnipiac. Here's Connor Core and Ben Kane on the scene at the People's United Center.
The Battle of Whitney Avenue, Quinnipiac versus Yale, is one of the biggest rivalries in college athletics. While the men's matchup is the game to fill all these stands you see here, the women's team had a special guest. The Teletubbies.
Unfortunately, we don't Teletubby very often at the women's games. We typically really only do the Yale games just because that's when the most people come, which is really unfortunate because our women's team is very talented.
The primary goal of the Teletubbies at these games is to get fans as involved as possible. They do this in many different ways, including dancing, taking pictures with them, and most importantly, singing.
Clap your hands. Right elbow, left elbow, right elbow. You go back and forward, back and forward and back, and everybody forward and back and forward and back. Turn down for what?
Although the student section wasn't filled to the brim like the men's hockey games, the students who did show up were very excited to be there to support the team.
I really liked the women's game tonight because you could tell that the people that were here wanted to be here and they were really excited to be here to be with the women's game. So they were very into chanting with us and cheering with us.
While the energy in the People's United Center tonight was absolutely electric, Connor, the Bobcats are hoping that they can keep this up as they head into their final few games of the season. And with this win tonight, the Bobcats clinch home ice for the quarterfinals. For Q30 Sports, this is Ben Kane. I'm Connor Core. Teletubbies, sing us out.
Day we live the legend. Every time we score, let them hear it. Let's hear the Bobcats roar. Woo!
Well, what a great story we have on the Teletubbies there, Ryan. But you know what it's time for?
What's the time for?
It's time for the top 5 players.
Let's go.
Let's get right into it. I'll do odds, you do even. Sound about right?
Yes, that's good.
All right, top 5. We'll start with number 5. It is no other than Olivia Mobley, the leading scorer of the women's ice hockey team. And you may not see her in this shot, but it doesn't matter. You just need to see the shot. A laser into the net, and that led the Bobcats to a 4-1 victory.
Now let's go to the field for baseball. Sebastian Mueller had a good season series debut. He hit above 300 against St. Joseph's this weekend with 3 hits and a team leading 4 ribbies.
That's not too bad.
That's a pretty good season debut.
I'd say so. But it can't be any better than Desi Jones. I mean, look at what he did against Marist. He had 16 points, also put up 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. That is really a tough one to beat there, Ryan.
Well, I'll one-up you there. The backbone of the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team, Yannick Peretz, continued his phenomenal first-year campaign this weekend against Harvard. Peretz totaled 26 saves against the number 18 team in the country. Quinnipiac, however, lost 1-0.
Well, you can't beat Mackenzie DeWeese, the GOAT of Quinnipiac sports right now. She has had a career-high 24 points in the game against Niagara in the comfort-behind victory.
It's hard to top that.
It is hard to top that. Let's now take a look at what we have in Quinnipiac sports this week. And this week we have men's ice hockey tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the People's United Center, as it's going to be a big rivalry game at the Battle of Whitney Avenue. We also have Thursday men's basketball as Siena and the Saints come into town. Then this Friday is this game 1 of the ECAC Women's Ice Hockey Tournament, kicking off as Clarkson comes into town. A big series right there, number 5 versus number 4. And finally, men's ice hockey. Cornell comes back in after defeating Quinnipiac at their home ice.
This week on Bobcat Buzz, we asked the students, which spring sports team are you most excited for? And you guys said. So you feel that women's lacrosse was the most exciting team that you want to see, followed by baseball at 36%, then men's lacrosse at 16%, and then women's softball at 4%.
Well, that's all the time we have, and I got to tell you there, Ryan, it's been a great show having you on, your first time on. How does it feel?
I am happy to be back, and it was a great experience, fun time.
It is great. Ready for the baseball season to kick off back here in April?
Of course I'm ready for the baseball season.
Yes, you're a club baseball player. And now, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to follow us on social media at Q30 Sports.
To stay up to date on all things Quinnipiac sports and tune into all of our content, visit us at Q30TV.com.
For Ryan Raggio, and I'm Gage Kilborn, and everybody behind our studio, B reporters, I'm Gage Kilborn. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.